ask the wizard behind the curtain, should I go on to the next question, gentlemen? Okay, good. We get to move on. Thank you, sir. I'm going to start now with Mr. Adkison. Given that the mayor does not have a vote on issues before the city council, but can veto a council decision, what would your criteria be for exercising the mayoral veto?
Well, first of all, the veto power is not an abusive power. And that question came up before. If you come up, and I think a better answer or a better question to that is, what projects haven't you liked as have gone through the process? The veto power basically with the city is the super majority can override the veto. So what the veto power to me says is this needs more public debate and input, and let's talk about it a little bit more. And so that's why you're vetoing it, because you want to tell your side of the story a little bit more and come to a conclusion. So it's just a matter of public debate. And I think what you've seen with Mayor Loveridge is he's been pretty good at not vetoing everybody. He says, well, you had veto power, why didn't you veto things? Is because he's brought people together in public debate and vetted these things out, and that's why there hasn't been a veto, because that's what the veto power does.
Mr. Bailey.
Well, obviously anything immoral, unethical, and illegal, you want to veto. Any serious conflict I would see that would come up between the council members if it wasn't dialogue that was cordial or meaningful in terms of a policy debate. I think we should turn that around and send it back to committee to get some better feedback and some better policy research committed to that issue before you bring it back to the council.
No doubt our friends in San Bernardino are pleased that an Amazon distribution center is opening in that city. My question, though, for you would be, what would your pitch to an Amazon or another company like that be if they are looking to locate or relocate within Riverside city limits? We'll start with Mr. Bailey.
Riverside is the epicenter of growth, and it's the Athens of the Inland Empire when it comes to education. We have 50,000 students here ready and willing to jump into some work. And these, again, it's a high knowledge-based workforce. Not all 50,000 graduate every year. We're looking for jobs. But we can't continue to have a brain drain where we educate these students here and they leave for a job elsewhere. We've got to keep those individuals in Riverside. They've already made connections and ties. They're going to be much more productive in the long run if we can find them jobs here. We've got an incredible renaissance that we've invested in over the last 5 years, amenities for these Amazon.com employees. We've got incredible recreational resources. We've got a Sycamore Wilderness Park that is the premier mountain biking park in inland Southern California. And one of the relationships that I've had has brought the U.S. Cup of Racing here, and it'll be his 4th race coming this year. We've got Mount Rubidoux, which is an incredible asset to hike and climb and bouldering, and the Santa Ana River Trail, which is going to be from crest to coast in the next 2 years. Our parks, we just invested $150 million in parks, and so if you're looking for the best family-friendly place to raise your family and the best schools, then Riverside is the place for you to buy a home.
Mr. Adkison, what's your elevator speech to a company looking to locate in
let
Riverside?
me tell you, Amazon moving to San Bernardino, I think the city of Riverside is going to benefit from that. And we can't be so territorial that we're trying to compete with a lot of our Inland Empire neighbors here. I mean, if a company moves into Corona, we're going to benefit. They're going to shop at Tyler Mall. So in that regard, I think that if you're going to lobby for a company to move to the city of Riverside, I think we're a less expensive place to do business, and I think Walters Mercedes has a pitch on there. You can sell his cars cheaper because it's less expensive to do business. And actually, he's selling Riverside with that ad on the radio. But you know, we have a current workforce. We have a pipeline to the colleges for workforce. We have the Greater Riverside Chambers of Commerce, which far exceeds any chamber that's in and around us. We have active community groups. We have a strong faith-based community, and we have to sell Riverside for who it is.